All right, let's break things down. It is May 6th, Friday. Uh, so here's the daily chart on the micro S&P contract that I've been trading, the June expiration. You can see we basically did a whole lot of nothing. Uh, kind of a sideways-ish close on the week. I'll go over that in a little bit. But I shorted last night. I forget when I actually entered that trade. We'll pull over TradeStation so we can take a look at that. I shorted. It's shorted right here, so that's about 7:30 in the evening. Decided just to get one contract short. Stop would have been up here somewhere. We bled off overnight. We sold off. We popped back up, and when I saw that when I woke up this morning, I was like, I'm gonna get out of this. So that's what I get for trading before 6:30 in the morning because promptly after getting out of that, it decided to bleed back off. I tried getting back in it one more time and took like a $10 loss and was like, no, you know what? I made $30 from an overnight swing. I'm not about to give that all back trying to scalp pre-market. That's just a terrible idea. So we had the jobs release this morning. Vinay called it out. It was a nice green reaction. We shot all the way up here, and here's where I should have entered short. Let's go back to the chart real quick. We'll kick that over to the 15-minute. We got that nice green reaction, and I had a limit order set up here for a type 2 short because I think I was going to be playing like real tight stop. That would have gotten me. I could have had 3 contracts had it come up there, and my plan was just to rock 3 contracts all the way down to here, and it never quite got that high. And I looked at it, like I looked at it in the zone. It pushed up, it hit the zone, it actually shot back out of it real quick, and then pushed up and tested it again. And I was like, no, like I think it can do it. I think it can give me that type 2. And I kind of feel like what I should have been paying a little bit more attention to is just this overall price action right here. Um, and it's just interesting in hindsight, obviously, to see how it is held, but we have not wanted to stay above this line at all. Every time we have, these have just been wicks. This is it coming into the zone, and we've rejected and broke below it from yesterday's price action. So, like, everything since then has kind of been holding this line. So I did not get the type 2 short, didn't even take the type 1. Uh, Hindsight is 2020. That would have been a really fun trade because I would have had my stop in the green, and then look, we came all the way down to the bottom. So we got down to the bottom, and I had to pull over at a gas station to take this trade because my limit order was set right here, and I had a position set. I think I was going to try to grab 4 contracts and just be super, super, super intense with it. And or was it 3? It might have been 3. I forget where I had my. I think it was 3. I had my stop out here because I eventually had to end up adjusting it to allow for 2 contracts, and I got in, and I'm glad I did that because as you can see, right where I got filled was right where it turned around. Here's where my position management is really hurting me, and I've noticed this too in my trader view reports. Which granted, this is only a week's worth of data, so it's not super telling so far. But when we go to the reports tab for my futures trading within TraderView, I had a couple of green days that are small green days, 2 big red days this week. So I actually ended the week. That's giving me the last 30 days. Let's do this real quick. There we go. We kicked that off of there. So three out of 5 days were green this week, but my red days are bigger than my green days. And so I actually ended the week down about $72 total. So basically a sideways week for me. A huge reason for that when we look at the actual details here. Once again, this is only a sample size of 23 trades, so as I continue logging my trades in TraderView, it'll give me more data to actually work with. But I'm seeing a big discrepancy where my average winning trade is $67 and my average losing trade is $135. What that's telling me is that I'm losing more than I'm winning on my winners. My losses are bigger than my winners in the long run in average, and that really needs to change because my win rate actually isn't terrible. 65% win rate. Hey Don, if you watch this, you should get TraderView and just do like a dump of all of your trades. Don't log anything else. I just want to see what your actual win rate is. I'll bet that would be a fascinating thing to look at and see how often Don actually wins. Because I I think the average is like 60 to 70% is like what professional traders do, whatever that means. So I'd be interested in seeing what Don does. Anyways, so my winning trades are smaller than my losing trades. That needs to change. And a big reason that that's happening to me is a day like today where, let me, can I send this to the back? That way it's not in the way. These, I'm going to switch to the dark theme. I'm sorry that my wicks are going to want to disappear. Like I said, I have some graphical glitches going on, but this is getting kind of hard to read. So we came down, I grabbed the Type 2, we pushed up, I had my stop. I put my stop in the green and got tagged out right here. And then I ended up getting back in one contract, wrote it up more, got tagged out right here. So I was in two, tagged out, got back in one, tagged out one. I thought about getting back in on that retest of the zone on the 15-minute candle, and I decided not to. Um, and honestly, that was a big mistake because I mean, that's just a picture perfect break and retest of a zone. Smaller time frame, obviously, but we got that nice strong push up. I did not take that trade, so I basically was in those two trades, and that was it. That was what ended up being my whole trading day. Was got in, stopped out right here, got back in, pushed up, tagged out right here, never got back in, and we went zone to zone. So, oh, I keep doing that. Um, so what that's telling us is I'm getting in type 2. I should have had this thing in the green, put my stop there, set an alert up here, and go back to driving, go back to work, completely ignore everything, which is hard to do in these markets. Things have been so volatile that I'm like checking it every 20 minutes or so. And we got that push, and I mean, look, that would have been picture perfect. That's a 4-to-1 trade. So I would have made $800 on that one trade had I just held those two contracts, treated it like any other trade where I don't babysit it and I don't trail it. Futures will move so fast that all you have to do is get a good entry, give it some time, give it some space. My stop would have been in the green and would not have had to worry about anything. Uh, so we hit the zone, did not short it once again, did not short it, and actually this to me would have looked kind of funky, like a higher low almost, and then we bled off for the rest of the day. We ended the week completely sideways. So the only other real trade that I put on that it's sending me alerts now for some reason is the Russell, which does not have any zones drawn on it. Well, that's annoying. Let's go to, here's my zones. I got in a little bit early, but we can look at the daily candles, and once again, graphical glitches. Sorry, my wicks are disappearing. That's really annoying. We hit the zone, we pushed up, we made a lower low, but we tagged the type 2, and we've been fighting with that area all day. I like the fact that we closed inside of it. I kind of feel like we could see a push up and out. Um, and I'm kind of feeling that way. Like a push to the next zone up would not be out of the ordinary, I think, for the Nasdaq, and I'm seeing the same kind of pattern on really the weekly chart on the S&P 500. I kind of feel like we're going to try to push up to maybe here, maybe this zone. That would be a wick, I think, on the weekly. Like if we hit that, I want to just go heavy short, and we'll check it in a week or two and see where we're at. That would be, man, that would be the trade of the century, wouldn't it? So I'm kind of feeling like we're gonna see some bullish action coming into next week. So I picked up a Russell contract, um, just because it's small. I only need one. It's half my normal risk for a weekend swing, and let's just see if we can't get this thing to go cruising up and make something on it. Um, and because it's the Russell, I don't feel the need to babysit it as much. The S&P 500, I've been in this bad habit of babysitting, so um, I'm swinging along the Russell over the weekend, but yeah, going back to all this, I think every video that I've done this week has been like, wow, could you imagine if I only held zone to zone? Like most of my trades, like zone to zone, and broke a zone down to another zone to zone. We based out, tested zone to zone, 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 like 3 times in one day. I really, really, really need to fix this bad habit of getting out of trades too early. Um, it's this weird mental thing where I'm like, I'm risking $200 per trade. It does not phase me if I tag out and take a $200 loss. But for some reason, if I see that I'm up $200, I get like, oh, I gotta lock that in and want to like just pinch it too tight with a stop loss instead of giving it the space that it needs. So bad habit of mine. I'm still working on like my psychology there and how I'm gonna fix that. And I think that's gonna be like my goal going into this next week, even if it's just one contract. Like if I take a trade with two or three contracts, fine. Trail the other two, get super tight on them, let that one run or tag out at break even, and see if I can't get some of those runners that'll really take that profit and loss ratio that I'm struggling with right now and flip that over so that my winners, when I win, I'm winning more than what I'm losing. And then with even a 65% win rate, I'm set. Like that's all I need to really start seeing consistent growth. So I feel like I need tweaking more than anything. Yeah. So I'm confident in Don's zones. I'm not drawing my own zones. I'm just copying Don's. So I'm confident in Don's zones. I know how to play zones. I know how to play price action. My biggest thing is just giving the winners the room that they need to run, be free, bring in the profits that I need them to bring in. I'm kind of a control freak and I'm tagging out way too soon. So there's my project for next week. I'll see how that goes. And I guess next Friday's video will be a report on how well or not well I manage those positions. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.